Here is Spider-Man Team Up 116, and I am not going to call it a follow-up to the previous issue, because that would make it seem much worse than it is. I do think that it was this cover that I was thinking of when I said that Spider-Man Team Up issue 148 had a cover that had already been done before. This issue has Spider-Man teaming up with Velcro from the Defenders. Except he doesn't really team up with her at all. And 4, he is also there right at the end. This is yet another issue I would describe as part of DeMatteis' run on Defenders. And the great thing is, having reread this, I can now say that the awful issue before it is not essential. There is Velcro on her flying horse. And we begin with a good little introduction to Velcro, a good scene of her stopping and mugging. Some people might ask why I am so thorough and all-encompassing when it comes to collecting runs, and why I have about 15 Spider-Man team-ups in my Defenders collection that I call part of DeMatteis' Defenders run. And the answer is bits like this. This sequence with Velcro, you could take this, you could cut this out of the issue and put it into any Defenders issue. This to me is a character flourish that makes this all worthwhile. That's not to say that it is the only relevant thing in the issue. We have 2 different things that later rear their heads in separate Defender stories. Here is the disgraceful backstory from the issue before. You didn't need to know any of this. You definitely didn't need to read that issue to follow this one. And it gives you all the deplorable shite about the aliens here. But all you need to know is that there is a psychic bad guy who wants revenge on Spider-Man and Thor. It doesn't even have to be the bad guy from the issue previous. It could just as easily be a bad guy from 50 issues ago, or a bad guy from another Spider-Man series entirely. It is really satisfying to know that I didn't have to include the issue before this in with this Defenders run. I might even remove it from that long box. And it is so bad, I will not even put it in me Spider-Man long box. I'll just put it in with a pile of comics that I bought just to review that are not even bagged, let alone bordered. Anyway, Meru, the bad guy from last issue, his essence scans into Velcro's sword, and so Meru, he takes over, he possesses Velcro to seek revenge against Spider-Man and Thor. Very, very simple setup, and you know what? This evil maniac Velcro is the sexiest Velcro has ever been since the time she did not exist and she was only a disguise for Amanda the Enchanter. The list of sexy Velcros Gans. Number 1, Amanda the Enchanter in disguise. 2, Gleefully Evil Velcro in Spider-Man Team Up 116. And 3, the rest. Oh, and 729 would be the one that was Thor's imaginary friend in Blood and Thunder. She was disgusting. Velcro, she tries to kill Spider-Man, and it is really rudimentary stuff. Spider-Man quickly deduces that it is the sword that is controlling Velcro, and I liked seeing that. Always good when a writer subtly uses Spider-Man's intelligence in stories. And then we have got some more Defenders stuff, some more justification for including this with a Defenders run. Not that it needs any more. Spider-Man, he goes to Doctor Strange's house to get Doctor Strange and the Defenders to help out with Velcro. But Doctor Strange's manservant, Wang, he answers the door and tells Spider-Man to fuck off because Doctor Strange is busy. I feel like Wang, he must get fed up of superheroes braying on the door asking for Doctor Strange. So Spider-Man finally fights back, and there is a surprising amount of Spider-Man and Velcro ship fuel in this issue. I was not expecting that. And the panel where Spider-Man punches her in the face is not the correct time at all to bring up an unusual level of closeness between the two characters. Lucky for Spider-Man though, he gets some help, and it is Thor, who he only just teamed up with last issue. I would actually level a criticism here, and it is more towards Spider-Man Team Up and its rigid format. I think you could do this issue as Thor and Velcro as the Team Up and drop Spider-Man from it. There were 4 or 5 Spider-Man Team Up issues that didn't feature Spider-Man, and I think you could tell most of this story without even though it is Spider-Man who saves the day, so maybe I am totally wrong. He takes Velcro's sword and all this stuff with a sword. It will lead into a Defender story arc with my girl, Amanda the Enchanter, you morphos. The other thing that leads into a different Defender story, it's more of a subplot after those issues. Velcro, she wants a man. And here there is a pretty funny bit with Thor and Velcro just ignoring Spider-Man because they are so keen to fuck each other. So the end point is Spider-Man, despite his odd close friendship with Velcro, he gets cooked by Thor. And Thor, he also destroys Velcro's sword, which is the very big impetus for that Amanda the Enchanter story. And the issue ends for now, but we have one of Marvel's famous post-credit scenes where Captain America defeats Paste Pot Pete with fruit pies. This one isn't a bad issue at all. I think the plot is a bit basic, but I much prefer that to the downright embarrassment of the issue before. If you are reading this Defenders run, this is another Spider-Man team-up issue that I would put the words pretty essential onto. Maybe there is a certain degree of me feeling much more positive towards this because it confirmed that I never have to read that awful issue that comes before it ever again. But this one is a 7 thumbs up issue.